What if I told you the player who changed basketball forever just walked away from the game without warning? The man who created Linsanity, the global phenomenon that inspired millions, has officially played his final game. Jeremy Lin's shocking retirement announcement isn't just the end of a career, it's the closing of one of the most important chapters in basketball history. And what he revealed about his journey will change how you see professional sports forever. Stick with us, because we're breaking down everything about Lin's legacy, from those incredible 11 games that shook the NBA to the personal struggles he never showed the cameras, to why walking away now might be his most powerful move yet. This is the story you won't want to miss. Here's how it happened. No press conference, no farewell tour, just a simple, heartfelt post on Instagram that sent shockwaves across the basketball world. Jeremy Lin wrote, and I quote, "This is the hardest decision I've ever had to make." He talked about the honor of his career, about chasing a dream that seemed impossible for someone who looked like him. But here's what really hits hard. He didn't just announce his retirement, he revealed a deeper truth, that after 15 years of professional ball across the NBA, China, and Taiwan, the pressure, the injuries, and the constant grind had finally taken their toll. He said he wanted to go out on his own terms, and that's exactly what he did. But this announcement, it wasn't an ending. It was the final chapter of a story that began with one of the most unbelievable underdog runs in sports history. And what happened next changed the NBA forever. And just like that, Linsanity was born. It was February 2012. An undrafted kid from Harvard, sleeping on his brother's couch, gets his chance with the Knicks. And what happened next? Nobody could have predicted. For 11 games, Jeremy Lin wasn't just good, he was unstoppable. 24 points per game, 9 assists, leading New York to win after win after win. Remember the night he dropped 38 on Kobe Bryant? The Lakers, the Black Mamba himself, and this unknown kid outshines him. After the game, Kobe said, "I couldn't believe what he was doing." Then came Toronto, the game-winning three, the roar of the crowd, the pure disbelief on everyone's face. That shot didn't just win a game, it created a legend. Madison Square Garden turned into a temple. Every game felt like a playoff atmosphere. Lin jerseys sold out everywhere. He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated twice in 2 weeks. Time magazine called him one of the most influential people in the world. But here's what made Linsanity so special. It wasn't just about basketball. It was about hope. It was about the underdog. It was about a kid nobody believed in achieving the impossible. And the crazy part? This was only the beginning. But behind the highlights, behind the roaring crowds, was a reality nobody saw. The truth is, Linsanity almost broke him. The pressure was suffocating. The endless media, the constant spotlight, the expectation to be perfect every single night. Lin admitted he couldn't sleep. The weight of an entire culture felt like it was on his shoulders. Then came the injuries. A torn meniscus in 2012 ended that magical Knicks run. Just like that, Linsanity was over. What followed was a brutal reality check. 8 teams in 9 years, the Houston contract, the constant trades, the nights riding the bench on struggling teams. Every time he found rhythm, another setback would hit. And then in 2023, a concussion in Taiwan nearly ended his career for good. He described it as one of the lowest points, lying on the court, wondering if it was all over. But here's what's wild. Through all of it, through the doubt and the pain, he never lost sight of who he was. And that identity became his greatest strength when everything else seemed to be falling apart. Just when it seemed like his story might be ending, Jeremy Lin was about to write his most unexpected chapter yet. One that would take him halfway across the world and prove his impact went far beyond basketball statistics. Just when many thought his story was fading, Jeremy Lin made a move that would redefine his career and change basketball on the other side of the world forever. He went to Beijing, not as a fading star, but as a superstar reborn. With Beijing Ducks, Lin wasn't just another import player, he became the face of Chinese basketball. Sold-out arenas, MVP chants, the same Linsanity magic now happening in Beijing. But here's where it gets even more incredible. After dominating the CBA, Lin made another shocking move, this time to Taiwan. And what happened there would become the perfect ending to his story. With the new Taipei Kings, Lin didn't just play, he dominated. At 35 years old, he put up numbers that would make prime-time players jealous. 22.3 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.8 assists per game. The crowds, the excitement, it was Linsanity all over again, but this time with something more: respect. Then came the championships, the awards. The 2025 season where he didn't just win, he conquered. Regular season MVP, finals MVP, and that championship trophy that sealed his legacy as more than just an NBA curiosity. But here's the real story. While stats show points and awards, they can't measure impact. Every game in Taiwan wasn't just a basketball game, it was an event. Young Asian players finally saw someone who looked like them not just competing, but excelling at the highest level. Lin said it himself, "I used to run from being the Asian basketball player, but now I understand. It wasn't a limitation, it was my superpower." And that understanding, that acceptance, would lead him to make the most shocking decision of his career. Just when he was at the absolute peak of his success, having finally found peace with his game and his identity, Jeremy Lin walked away. So why now? Why walk away at the absolute peak of his success? The answer isn't in the stats or the trophies. It's in the man himself. Jeremy Lin didn't retire because he couldn't play anymore. He retired because he'd found something more important than basketball: peace. In his own words, "I used to think success was about stats, contracts, and championships. But real success is about who you become in the process." Look at the numbers one last time. 11.6 points, 4.3 assists per game over his NBA career. The first Asian American to win an NBA championship. College degree from Harvard. MVP honors on 2 continents. Most importantly, he opened doors nobody even knew were closed. But here's the real legacy. Every young Asian basketball player who now looks at the court and sees possibility instead of limitation. Every kid who wears a jersey with pride because Jeremy Lin proved it was possible. His final message says it all. Who are you going to bring up with you? Will someone after me have fewer barriers chasing their dreams? That's the powerful truth about Jeremy Lin's retirement. He's not leaving basketball. He's making room for the next generation. He's trading the court for something bigger. A legacy that will continue to grow long after his final buzzer has faded. In an era of manufactured sports moments, Jeremy Lin's authentic journey reminds us why we fall in love with sports in the first place. Not just for the wins, but for the stories that change the game forever. You might think Jeremy Lin's retirement means the end of an era, but what if it's actually the beginning of something even bigger? Long after the final buzzer, Lin's influence is still reshaping the game. Young players across Asia and beyond aren't just dreaming of making it, they're expecting to. And that shift in mindset, that's Lin's real legacy. He wasn't just a player, he was proof. Proof that barriers are meant to be broken. Proof that an undrafted kid from Harvard could take over Madison Square Garden, win an NBA championship, and become a legend on the other side of the world.